Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Kiss, back here with the third and penultimate part of my shopping list Christmas. Hope you like this mug. I'm using this mug that says "Been on the pub all night," as I like to drink tea late into the night and stuff like that. Anyway, try not to waffle, as I often say. I know I do these in 4 parts, so I hope people enjoy each of them. And I realise I'm probably being a little bit selfish and or narcissistic, talking about my own goals and dreams and stuff like that, and version of a shopping list. So I'd love for people to write in the comments whatever your own personal goals and dreams are for Christmas or the future generally. Although I think that in my defence, a lot of my goals and dreams pretty much are more for the betterment of humanity and even animals and all living things and stuff like that, and improving nature and things like that. But as ever, you can let me know what you think, any points you disagree with or any points you agree with. I think I meant to mention in my last video, I'd love for people to give me comments. They never do, but please be one of the first to give me comments and any constructive criticisms, anything you think I can improve. And if you support my videos, I'd love to know. Obviously, if I read comments in support of my videos, which I sometimes do, or it seems to be less common now than it used to be for some reason, but that people comment on my videos in any capacity. But even if you want to write constructive criticism or anything else, anything you want to write, as ever, on my please feel free to do so. On my YouTube, I sort of try and allow all comments. I never delete any comments or anything like that, even if they were rude or offensive. So far, I haven't really got too many rude or offensive comments, but to be honest, I haven't had many comments anyway. But I did it in the past. But yeah, so basically, please do comment, especially if you support my channel. I'd really love to know. Obviously, it would encourage me as well. Anyway, having said that, these are ideas number 21 to 30 lists or thoughts or whatever you call them, pointers or whatever. So, as I say, hope you enjoy, and hope you're enjoying your Friday night if it's nighttime where you are or whatever. So yeah, here in the UK, it's already it's almost midnight here, so it's technically going to be Saturday soon. Hopefully, one step closer to me being healthy again. So here you go. So number 21, I would love to finally be able to finish off unfinished business, like as I mentioned in part 2 and probably even in part 1, things that I haven't got around to finishing for whatever reason, for one reason or another, and try and remember things. Unfortunately, like it seems like things I want to remember, I seem to forget, and things I want to forget, I seem to remember. So I wish it was in the opposite order. So if I'm talking about my wish list or shopping list or dream list or whatever you want to call it, that's one of the things I would wish for. Of course, so yeah, 21 again, as they say. So I would love to finish off, say, videos I didn't finish, or talk about what I wanted to happen in the past, what I would have liked to have achieved by now, and things like that. Anywho, talking about not making videos too long as well. Moving on, number 22, I forgot to say a few things in point number 11, and I was conscious again that the video was going on a bit too long as ever, so as all too often. So I thought I'd move on, but later on I did think there were a few points I could have covered. So I was talking about change and things like that, what I'd love to change and that kind of thing. And I was thinking, and again, I know I talked about this point in the past, but what if Italian football and Celtic could work with FIFA and say football as part of football for good and discouraging war, football for peace as well, peace, love, goodness, joy, and all that good stuff, especially at Christmas time, but even just generally. What if from Christmas, perhaps as well, talking about a Christmas shopping list, what if Italian football and Celtic, as I say, could work with FIFA and UEFA to talk about, like, instead of investing in wars, weapons, the weapons trade, militaries, the military-industrial complex, and that kind of thing of any particular country, whether that's Israel or Palestine or China or even India or America or the UK or anywhere else in the world, what if companies and investors were encouraged to invest in football, Italian football, I would hope, from my point of view, and Celtic, in particular, in my point of view, maybe in football generally, but for me, Italian football and Celtic, and I'm sure for Italian football fans, they would say Italian football and Celtic fans would say Celtic. People would talk about their own club, obviously, wanting to see investment in their own club or their own country in terms of football. But as I say, as I was the one who came up with this idea, perhaps maybe the first to come up with this idea, I think what if the reward was that it could happen for investment into Italian football. So like BlackRock, instead of investing in like weapons and things like that, and things that contribute to wars, they talk about, like they say, now we're going to support peace. Maybe I'm being naive, but maybe they could invest in going on alliterations and things like that. Maybe they could invest in Bari or Bologna, and hopefully the markets will reward peace instead of war. As I often say, it reminds me of the biblical teaching. Not that I'm a scholar or religious or anything like that. I sort of believe, but I'm not hyper religious or anything like that, or strictly religious or whatever. I don't follow a particular religion, but it reminds me of swords into plowshares, but in this case into football. So as I say, if I'm really dreaming, as I often say, that these are really my big picture dreams. These are my big dreams. By the way, I meant to put talking about memory. I meant to put the laptop up on a box so I can stand up and make this video, but I forgot. I keep forgetting things. So I think I mentioned that for part 1 or answer or 2 as well. But anyway, as I say, instead of investing in wars, the weapons trade, military industrial complexes, or anything like that of any nation, trying to be as neutral as possible, what if they invested in Italian football? And on that note, also, sorry, I forgot my train of thought again. What if Italian football and Celtic could be like the Swiss of football? Another idea I may have mentioned a while back, but what if the Italian football and Celtic could be like the Swiss of football, where they stay neutral and things like that? I would love for Celtic fans to have banners and symbols and signs that talk about peace and peace for everyone, whether that's Israelis, Palestinians, people in China, India, and basically all over the world. And I'll drink to that, as they say, and towards making my throat better. But yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought again. So yeah, they invest in football instead of wars. And what if Italian football and Celtic could be like the Swiss, but instead of with banking, it would be with football, so people could invest in them and they wouldn't have to take sides in any wars. Celtic, I would love for them to have peoples and things like that, and condemn violence as a club and hopefully as a fan base as well. The club itself officially, and encouraging fans to discourage violence like hooliganism, crimes, criminality, or joining militaries, or the things I don't agree with, like the IRA support and things like that, or anything that incites violence. I don't think Celts should join militaries or things like that, personally. And similar with Italian football as well, but I suppose I'm a bit biased. I'm looking at my way of thinking. There's a few other ideas, but I'm going to move on because I hopefully will include them in part 4 or in some future videos, which may well mean I'm behind schedule for like all things I wanted to talk about before Christmas. But I don't want to bore you anymore. So I hope people out there actually enjoy it more than I think, these videos. But moving on, number 23. I hope I can do a lot of fundraising for charity. I know I talked about a few of my selfish dreams and goals about football, benefiting Italian football and Celtic. But although with Celtic, I mean, they already do a lot for charity and stuff like that. So even the Celtic Foundation and that kind of thing. But I hope they can also benefit on the pitch in terms of wins, trophies, and things like that. So I just heard a crackling noise. I was wondering where that was from. Might be my cat around somewhere. But yeah, I hope I can fundraise for charities like the school I support in Kenya, the Rare Gem School, as it's the 23rd tomorrow. And I think of 23 as like a charitable number. I hope to talk about the causes I wish to support. And I know I've mentioned them a few times, but basically like charitable goals and things like that. And using Christmas to try and spread positivity, peace, love, sympathy, empathy, and that kind of thing. And I was talking recently about how, like, if Celtic have like peace symbols just generally and try and remain as neutral as possible. I know some people might say they should side with the oppressed, I beg pardon. But I think it'd be cool to see like pro-peace signs. Then I don't think if they have like we support peace and we want to see a peaceful solution to the conflict in the Middle East and we want to see peace around the world, I think it'd be very hard to criticize that. I think you'd have to be a very cold person to criticize someone who wants to see peace if the club disassociates with any sort of violence, even IRA violence or British military invasion of Iraq or things like that. I mean, I suppose warmongers might not like it, but I think most people around the world I think Celtic will get a lot of respect if they distance themselves from like hooliganism, criminality, violence, IRA support, or anything like that. And I suppose hopefully they'll get a lot of respect from around the world. But I'd love to know what you think. Like, do you think I'm being naive about it? Or just any views you have, like whether you think Celtic should continue to try and get pro-Palestinian flags, or do you think they should have the peace flag? That's a question I probably could have asked on YouTube, but I'd love to. I always forget to make a poll, but I'd love to find a way to create a poll. But basically, I'll probably write it in the comment section a bit later when I finish the video, so I can focus. But yeah, I'd love to know what people think about whether Celtic should have like pro-Palestinian flags or signs and symbols about peace, non-violence, basically, and whatnot, obeying the law, trying to get along with others, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, please let me know what you think about that, as well as any other point I make. Number 24, I hope to make the best use of each day and that kind of thing, and hopefully I'll be productive in spreading my ideas on Christmas Day. As I say, I'd love for, I know I'll repeat this point, but on the day itself, I think of 24, it's like, because it's 24 hours in a day, but it would be hard to imagine. But if I'm really dreaming, again, I mentioned before, like how these are about, if I'm really dreaming, if Apple, Amazon, Alibaba, and other companies that begin with A invest in AC Milan, and Inter Milan get investment from InvestCorp, IBM, maybe even Microsoft, and Elon Musk with his own personal money, and international companies and investors, and they can have like a friendly rivalry, like I've mentioned how Elon Musk has a rivalry with Jeff Bezos. I hope it'll be a friendly rivalry, not too much animosity involved, but it would be interesting. Like they could see which one could help their team respectively to get to the top. But because I'm a fan of Italian football generally, I'd be happy for either of the Milan teams to do well. For me, it's most important if they do well in Europe and internationally, because I'm not too bothered about who wins domestically. But on that note, 24 also makes me think like different countries for some reason as well. I suppose like National Day and things like that. I'd love to see Italian football improved at club and country level as much as possible, just generally, and to organise my time better as well and make better use of each day. Talking about 24 hours in a day, like I think, like to me symbolically, a day could be like a pizza or a pie or cake, and in the sense that you slice it. If you slice it into 24, if you think about it, whatever you give those 24 things to, respectively, or a certain amount of those 24 slices to, you have less slices to give it to other things. So that's the importance of priorities. Hope that made sense. I think time is, in many ways, I suppose, depending on the number or the amount or the duration or whatever, it is more important than money. But I'd love to know what you think about that philosophy and what your philosophy is in terms of time versus money. I'd love to know what people think about that, as well as my other comments. Number 25, I'd love to support republics. Number 26, also reparations. Number 27, also rewards. I often talk about like rewarding those who help me, and also those who help others, and those who are kind to animals and things like that. Number 28, I hope I can turn negatives into positives and improve my video content quality. On that note, Number 29, I hope I can build bridges and bring groups together. And number 30, probably if I could do a few things that begin with F, but I don't know if I should include them on friendly videos, but I thought I'd include dirty ideas because it's 30, but 30, dirty. But anyway, I'll probably leave it at that, but I wish the Bible didn't have rules on like no so-called fornication and stuff like that, but yeah, I suppose my Christmas shopping list would be like to get laid, but anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up now. I'll probably go really red otherwise, but probably if I haven't already done so. Anywho, peace and love, I'm out.